Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode where we're going to look at how we're going to have our quotation farm and quotation gathering or hot mess that we have kind of conjured through the book, and we're going to turn it into an outline that will have much more control and some focus. It'll just be another step on the way with spelling errors and all. Okay, try your best not to count all the times that I'll use as I make this video. All right, so returning to this. Hopefully, at this point, you may even still have some quotes you haven't gathered yet, but you know what you may or may not need. You're sitting on a pile of quotes. Right now, I think I have 10 over here, and you're kind of ready to begin getting to the next phase. So you may want to remember, you want to treat this as sort of as your clouds, right? You have like all this stuff all over the place, but what shape are you going to make out of it? What do you see in here? What argument are you going to be able to sort of deduce from here? And in my case, I like to think about there's so many different ways that you can go into an argument, but I think for this piece, and I'll have a worksheet that will have this at the top. Excuse me. I want you to think sometimes like in analytical writing, you're basically saying, I'm going to break something down, and in my breaking it apart, I'm going to prove something. And in my case, I could argue that through Hamid's slow death of his two main characters' relationship, one surmises breaking up with someone as a true sign of pure love. Okay, there's redundancy in here. It's a very poorly written thesis, but it has listed in here, what am I going to break down? I'm going to break down the slow death of his two main characters' relationship. What will it prove when I do that? I'm going to prove that it suggests that breaking up with someone is a true sign of pure love. Okay, that's just a basic idea. It's sort of my North Star for right now, and I can polish it out later. For us more argumentative types, you may want to think of yourself as sort of going, like having a conversation with the author himself. So you may want to think, is there something that you want to support, as in agree with the author? Is there anything you want to challenge, disagree, or do you want to qualify? And we'll explain a little further in a second. So if you want to agree, you want to support, you can flat out say, I agree. Yes, you can use I statement for now. I agree with Hamid's suggestion that breaking up with someone is a sign of selfless love. Okay, it's very simple. And as I write my paper, I can go in and plant some seeds on what are the details that will support that. You can flat out challenge. And it doesn't have to be something just like totally related to that. It could be something within the novel. In my case, I could write, I challenge Hamid's suggestion that Nadia and Saeed were not meant for each other and they should have stayed together. And even though they're his characters, I can make that argument. And some writers actually really find that flattering and some do not. But yeah, you can go ahead and argue that. Now, to qualify or any other suggestion here that you felt like was not the right way to go, you can challenge that, but you're going to have to really dig into it. Qualify, you can either agree to an extent on something or you can disagree to an extent on something. And keeping it simple for something like this, I have this example. So while I agree that breaking up for Nadia and Saeed was a happy ending, okay, I agree to that part, but I still believe Hamid's characterization of both characters suggests that they should have rekindled the relationship after their breakup. And if you truly want to qualify an argument, you need to be a little bit more specific. So if I were to go down this route, I would probably make it very clear either certain, I don't know, milestones in growing up or maybe a year, 6 months. And that's where this research part might come in. I'm not sure if I said this or not, but this type of stance, either of these stances can actually require a little bit of research to challenge, what's going on in the text. So you're going to take background knowledge, but, vetted background knowledge to say, listen, you didn't do your research, Hamid, or you did do your research, Hamid. And I agree with what you're stating. So just again, to make it very clear, if you're saying to yourself, wait, can I use an I statement? Yes, my sweet child, you can, but not in any of the other body paragraphs, unless it is a micronarrative. And we're going to talk about that later. Right now, our objective again is to turn this into something. Now, in your case, you're going to have to actually like go into your folder, okay? And oh wait, this is the wrong one. Sorry. So you want to find your folder. Mine is called Book on Writing. You're going to find your piece. You should be Magical Realism. And when you're here, when you're actually in the folder that you need to be in, expand this just to make it clear. Again, I'm here, Book and Writing, Exit West paper. You should have Magical Realism, maybe Exit West paper. But once you're here and this is open, click on New and create your Google Doc. There you go. And while you're here, what I like to do, I'm sure many of you do this too, but it's kind of nice to make it really concrete and clear, is to have sort of your clouds, your hot mess over here, and start deciding what are you going to group together, what will make the most sense. We're sort of stepping away from just the cloud idea, and we're getting more into the tour guide idea. Okay, you're going to go back to thinking about how your quotes are sort of like this landscape, and you need to find that what is the best place to start, where you're going to take me, where you're going to take me next, what we're going to do here, and then how we might end things. Okay, there's more than one way to do so, but you need to sort of get that idea. And to really deduce what that looks like, I want to sort of make it clear by numbering things. So in my case, I wrote some, little love notes to myself. I have this very basic thesis statement for now, but this is the original gathering, right? So I know yours looks like this right now, but in the end, while I was here, I discovered, wait a minute, a pattern I discovered was that both express strong, intimate feelings for other people. And, you know, I have a quote here. I have a quote here. Notice this number 278 is because this quote was the second quote of my list. And then over here, I realized 7 and 8 were also part of this pattern. So just to remind you, you're going to sort of extract from here, put it here, because this is the tour that I'm going to give you right now. And actually it's not, this is definitely not going to be the second body paragraph, but I also deduced here, well, wait a minute, both characters without actually saying it do in fact love each other. And where do I find this? I found this in the first quote that I gathered. And now look at this. I actually don't have these quotes yet. So I'm sort of going back to that quote farming idea. I'm planting seeds here. Wait, I can find the quote of Saeed asking I need to go first through the door, showcasing the care for each other. Plant also a little seed of why I think this quote is significant, something that many of us have asked of you in your 9th and 10th grade years. I'm not sure if I'm going to need this quote, when they both help each other's wounds when they were both attacked. But I'm planting that seed for right now because I think I can conjure that. Moving on, I figured I could also compare and contrast the silence of before the explosion of them talking when they reunite, proving that like things were bad when they were together, but better once they are apart. And so while it says 1, 2, 3 here, I gathered this from my 4th and 5th quote gathering right there. So I still have, look, I have more work to do. I'm gonna rearrange things. Are there even more quotes? I mean, more paragraphs I'm write? Absolutely. But this is giving me sort of a path and I can feel a lot better about where I'm at. And I hope that for you. Thank you so much. Happy writing and have a good day.